Michigan doing the unthinkable.
Huge potential here.
He gets one, he gets two.
That is beautiful, beautiful front to back right there.
Up 3-1 Eastern. Looking good, feeling good. Life is good. Welcome back, stream. It's me. It's me again. It's Vinny again. We got Vinny. Hi, Vinny.
Hi,
Vinny.
Hi, Clavon.
It's my goat right there. Welcome back to another EMU Overwatch stream. It's time for some wonderful Overwatch gaming against the two directional schools in the what do you call it? In
the state.
There's a northern.
Yeah,
right?
but
I think there's a northwestern
east and west
too.
are opposites. It's a natural rivalry.
Next week we'll have north and south. That's going to be a civil war again. Anyway, We're against Western this week. And let's take a look at our schedule and just make sure we don't have any north and south sneaking in there. You can see that today is the 9th. We've got Eastern versus Western in Overwatch. And then next week we've got Eastern versus Northern Illinois on the 14th in Overwatch again. And then it is Rocket League all the way down. Doubleheader on the 15th versus Buffalo and Ball State. And then we get to reprise our clear win, right? Our clear win
Absolutely.
against Western on the 22nd here. So let's take a look at our standings and see how we match up right now. Kent State kind of running the show, 7-1 right now against Ball State's 6-0, Ohio University's 6-1, Akron's 5-3, Northern Illinois 4-3, Bowling Green 5-4, Miami University 4-2, Buffalo 2-6, Central Michigan 2-7, and you can see that whatever happens here, it will be somebody's first win, and it's definitely going to be us.
Oh yeah,
it's
we're gonna see that one win come up on the board. It's gonna be fantastic.
You can see that we are 07 and they're 08, so they have lost more than we have.
Yeah.
Which means that we're the better team.
Yeah, their mental. It's gonna be further in the gutter.
Mental boom. We are locked.
Exactly.
It's, the kingdom meme. It's like our glorious kingdom versus their awful. Yeah, that's what's going on here.
Our 0-7 kingdom versus their 0-8 disaster.
Exactly. But it's going to be a great game. We've got some more shakeup to the roster this time. We still have Otzel on the tank. We've got Rage on our flex DPS, and of course Nyx. We saw some very funny gameplay out of Nyx on main support just a few minutes ago. Nyx is... The Overwatch team is notorious for how loud they are in the esports room here.
A little bit.
And Nyx is making sure we don't lose that reputation. Let's just say that.
It's the identity of Overwatch.
It really is. If you're not screaming your head off, are you even playing Overwatch? That's what good comms sound like.
A lot of other games, it's very sound heavy, using sound to your advantage. Overwatch, not as important with that sound element. You can pick up on some things with sound, but if you were playing any of the games deaf, Overwatch would probably be the easiest to do.
Oh, yeah. But we have two of our players swapping roles today. We've got Pringle, who was previously our hit scan player, moving over to flex support. And Rose, our wonderful flex player, has played pretty much every role on a team at some point, is now back over to hit scan. I think she's played at least one game of hit scan before.
Yeah.
But we do have a little bit of a shakeup there. I'm not that worried.
No.
I trust Rose to be able to pick up that role. Flex support is definitely Pringle's more comfortable role.
Yes.
So we're going to see some good gameplay out of that. But we're just tweaking comps. I'm finding our optimal
lineup.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's good.
I agree. Speaking with the team, Rose says that she's feeling comfortable on the hit scan. Their coach Suji said that he's liked what he's seen out of her through the practice that they've had on this lineup. I'm expecting to see some big things out of this.
Again, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of our Zarya Reaper comp, a lot of we're not really moving a lot of the super heavy key players around. Obviously everybody on this team is a key player, but our specific strategy that we're running, very reliant on Otzel and Rage, getting those TPs, good bubbles in, wraithing out, all of that, just that constant cycle pressure from the Reaper TP is kind of what we're relying on, and then everything else on our team is there to more or less support it.
Yeah.
So with consistent flex DPS and tank lineup is pretty important for that team comp. Very good to have that that locked in. But we are staring down the end of the season.
Yes, you've got competitive drives going on for better or worse.
Everybody loves competitive drives
You
so
know,
much.
the quality of matches, through the roof like always at the
Absolutely.
end of the season.
It's truly one of the greatest times to play Overwatch on an alt account because you get to play with everybody that hasn't played all season. They're like, oh, season is about to end. I want the funny reward for playing this season. Last weekend, okay, I'll queuing at like Friday at like 10 o'clock. Not a good time.
No,
not a good time. Bring your own teammates. We'll say that.
Yeah, you want to be able to know that you have some competent players with you in those comp games. Trying your best, getting some victories.
Oh, some victory royales. You know what? We're gonna take a quick. I gotta talk about it because
boy.
because as near and dear to Overwatch as Overwatch is to my heart, there's potentially something near and dear to my heart. Mostly as a bit. But you run a bit long enough and it becomes true. Scooby-Doo is Fortnite now. Scooby-Doo is Fortnite. For all of you that aren't up to date on your Glavon lore, I have actually sat down and watched the entire filmography of Scooby-Doo. Every episode, every movie. It's 10 straight days of content. Took me like 3 Yes, Jaden, I have been diagnosed. It's like 10 straight days of content. I've got a spreadsheet.
Aren't
It's
there
great.
a couple on there that are like lost media that
My
you can't
white
find?
whales. I have not been able to find the stage plays. If anybody has the Scooby-Doo stage plays, please send them to me. I even emailed Warner Bros, man.
Did they get back
was
to
not.
you?
No, they didn't. They ignored me. It's criminal. It's criminal. But Scooby-Doo is Fortnite now, so Vinny's going to try and get me to play Fortnite, and Scooby-Doo is Fortnite, so I'm going to have to.
There's a lot of things that are Fortnite. Daft Punk is Fortnite. K-pop Demon Hunters is Fortnite.
I can't
God
believe
of War is Fortnite. That's
even God of War is Fortnite. Scooby-Doo is Fortnite now.
you can see Scooby-Doo hit a clip, crank some 90s, and hit the gritty for the victory royale. I think I've broken him.
What do we do? What have we done? But anyway, end of the season, Overwatch. You just gotta mention the Scooby-Doo's Fortnite because that's great. The Scooby-Doo subreddit loves it. Anyway, the end of the season means that the next season is coming out.
Yes, this Tuesday, the 14th.
We are on
Season
season
19.
19. Yes, $19 Fortnite card. Who wants it?
You need help.
I know, I do. Halloween season. It's the spooky season. We've got some good skins coming out for it. I think classic Junkenstein's Revenge coming back.
Yeah.
All of the spooky game modes, spooky skins coming out. I didn't get a good look at the battle pass or anything, but Ram is getting a skin. The sky is falling. Ramatra is getting a skin.
Get that credit card out. $40 to have that Ramatra skin.
And the monkey's paw curls. You want a Ramatra skin? $40.
Ultimate bundle.
40 of your finest dollars, please. Right now.
Yeah. My favorite character, Lucio, he's getting a lot of awesome content. Like,
oh yeah, I also saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the one where he's I love that one.
That's awesome.
It's truly.
And please, Blizzard. One skin.
A single drop.
An emote, even. A victory pose.
You get a spray and you'll like it.
Oh
no. But the new season is also. We are. Where are we on the cycle of new heroes?
I believe it's a tank that is coming out next. They have a hero trial for next season. I believe sometime after mid-season will be a trial for hero.
Okay.
I believe it's 47.
I want to say. That sounds about right. Maybe like 40, 45.
45.
Yeah, 45. Yeah. Because wait, it's every other season, right? That we get a hero.
Yeah, and we got Wu Yang this season.
Chat, I'm cooked. I forgot that Wu Yang released this season.
Yes.
I was trying to think like, who's the newest character? It's Freya, but Freya's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And
It was Wu Yang, and then there were a lot of map reworks. Season 17, right?
I think there was.
Because I think that's when the Flashpoint maps got.
Oh,
reworked.
I think that's right. That sounds about right. But yeah, okay. So it okay, yeah. Now it makes sense in my head that we got Wu Yang. So this is actually they're teasing the character pretty early and pretty aggressively.
They've been
the launch trailer. Did you see? Nobody cared who I was till I put on the mask.
This mode looks like so much fun.
I haven't actually sat down and watched the trailer yet because I was in a Zoom meeting at work and I was taking screenshots from like the blog post and posting them, and I found Tracer wearing a Winston mask, and now I think I need to be Winston for Halloween. Look at this. Look at this. This is beautiful. They've cooked.
They released a
Did that monkey just recall?
It may have. The powers in this mode look like a whole lot of fun. I'm very excited for this. They released like a list of like what all the different masks do. I believe Winston, your melee will knock enemies back. With Brig, any damage that you do, I believe, procs like a mini Inspire.
Oh God.
It might also just be melee damage, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But they all look like a lot of fun. I'm very excited for it.
You know what this is? This reminds me. I'm sure we've all seen the custom game mode. That's like build your own hero. You can like stack heroes on top of each other. It's a pretty cool like game mode actually.
Yeah. It's crazy what some people could build with Workshop when it was actively working and not kind of degrading in the background.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the worst state it is right now, but they killed Mauga nipple PvE.
Yeah, bring it back. So what happened is the creator of the mode got banned by Overwatch for inappropriate Workshop content. I'm assuming that content was Mauga nipple PvE.
Maybe he had some skeletons in the closet. We don't know.
Who knows?
The man who created Mauga nipple PvE probably has some other interesting things in his workshop. I don't know if I want to know about those. Separate the art from the artist.
But like, what am I supposed to do when I'm sitting in my queues for drives this weekend?
Genji Ball. You play Genji Ball, and
it's
that's
just not the same.
I still have Mercy Flappy Bird saved, which is always fun. But yeah, the new hero is going to be a tank. They've been teasing it since the release of Stadium.
Yeah, there's one map in Stadium that has like a silhouette of her and like her sword that she's gonna have.
The sword. I know that.
It kind of seems like it's going to be another melee tank, kind of similar like to Reinhardt, where you've got that hammer, able to kind of apply a lot of frontline pressure.
Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see what they kind of do with her. They teased the weapon with Stadium, and then recently there was a Ramatra comic where one of the panels was a silhouette of the new character.
Mm-hmm.
And so it sounds like it's going to be a female tank affiliated with Talon, which is really interesting. And now at the end of, I believe it was just released today, the trailer for season 19.
I think they had a teaser for like her voice.
Oh, I didn't actually listen to the video. I only saw just her feet.
You're a feet guy.
I don't need more of these allegations, man. Jaden, no. Chat. No. All I saw was that it was just like it kind of looked like Junker Queen's like gladiator skin, maybe I think it's called. Just like from like the bottom parts of her legs. I didn't hear her voice or anything. I didn't get a chance to watch it. But they're teasing pretty aggressively. Like Wu Yang definitely didn't get teased this much.
No.
I mean, Juno had the
pod that crash landed into Dorado.
So I'm all for it. I love building hype. I'm wondering if they're going to be more like more lore implications. Yeah. I would love it. I think everybody would if they leaned more into the lore implications.
That was one of the things they talked about, and they released a developer update today. They're adding if you remember, like in the PvE when they had released that, they had like a whole section of kind of lore things. They're just making that a whole separate tab in the game now. So they're gonna have the motion comics, I assume the cinematics, a lot of like the lore posts just baked into the game, so you don't have to go to an external source to get the lore of that game, because that's one of those things that I feel like drew a lot of people into the game initially, was just the world of Overwatch. So a lot of really interesting characters, and seeing them interact is a lot of fun.
It really is. Someday we'll get the cinematics back, but we'll have to talk about this in between maps, because we are about to go into Samoa for our first map. With we are banning Ramatra, which is an interesting ban. Definitely an interesting ban. He's still kind of in the gutter, so probably just
using the ban to protect the Zarya, which we do lean into.
And they are answering with a Sombra ban, which, I know Rage likes Sombra, but I don't.
I don't foresee us really playing it in this comp all that much.
So it looks like both teams kind of just throwing out the bans and saying, you know what, we'll whatever, we'll move on.
Some good, clean Overwatch.
And we are seeing our classic Zarya, Lucio, Kiriko, Cassidy, and that is just going to be for a TP out of spawn on the Symmetra Reaper, mirrored by a Junker Queen, a Tracer, a Symmetra, probably also just TPing out, a Zenyatta, and a Wuyong. The matchup into that Junker Queen is going to be pretty good in our favor. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, Queen, she really needs to be able to apply that pressure. If you can deny her those axe swings, those knives, it really stunts her self-healing, makes it really hard for her to stay forward.
Absolutely. Looks like we are already going to be able to take out the enemy Zenyatta, and now
it's a big pick.
With just the pressure that we can put with a support being down, Rage is going to lock in, and the point is opening.
That Genji falling really low.
Forcing Western back into their spawn, taking out 3 to start the fight, and we are going to cap first. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
it's looking good so far.
Of all ages, we have a game.
I do believe so. It doesn't look like it looks like Western is gonna switch off that Genji, go over to Cass.
Definitely a good swap into the Zarya here.
Yeah, playing Genji into Zarya and that Cass, having that flashbang to deny him his movement even for a second can really cripple Genji.
Absolutely. If you can't get in and out with the Genji picks, the Reaper is going to try and fade into the backline and fading out. EMU unfortunately losing Otzel from that frontline pressure, and the point is going to flip over to Western as Otzel and Nyx go down. It looks like Rose is not able to get out as well. My favorite character is the Reaper guy, able to get into the backline and just clean up Eastern. And it looks like we might have a little bit of a back and forth here, which should make for some good viewing. Yippee! Yippee!
Oh boy.
We are starting to get ults coming up on the board. 70% on Eastern's DPS ults here. Answered really only by maybe a Transcendence coming up, maybe a title from the enemy Wuyong. We'll see what we make of these plays.
Rage putting some pressure onto that Zenyatta, getting forced back with that Discord Orb.
And we are just doing these cycles just to make space and be able to force out positioning here. So not every TP needs to be a conversion into a kill like that one is.
That Cass.
But that is just going to be a lot less damage coming out of Western. We should be able to walk with this. The enemy Wuyong ult does come out and kills Nyx, knocking over Otzel, but Otzel's got the bubble to stay up. Rage is going to go down to the enemy Reaper, and Eastern is going to have to back up here just to stabilize. We are trying to stay in spawn, not finding any more picks. We've got 5 ults up on the board. Western already burning only the one Wuyong.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see, us open up with one of our DPS ults. Maybe we look for that high noon, see if we can get a quick pick. Ooh, Rage falling down early.
We TP without line of sight for our bubble. The Grav and the Kitsune Rush coming out, but Otzel and Pringle both going down, Nyx to follow. Unfortunately not able to capitalize on that. Rose has found her way onto the point and is trying to flip, but is unfortunately going to get caught out by our enemy DPS here.
Yeah, no, you can see that was a good alt trade for us. They use that Reaper ult, they use the Cass ult, they use Transcendence. We did in turn use our Rush and our Grav. It's going to make it a little tough.
Yeah, we're just doing anything we can to get onto the point here. Unfortunately, we are going to die with both of our DPS ults not going off once, I don't believe. Holding those ults, especially in an overtime situation, just if you got to use it or lose it, you can't take it with you the next round. There was a big Junker Queen ult that came out. If they're able to stagger us like that, and we're doing a TP where we get caught by that enemy Cass's grenade, and we can't fade out on our Reaper, Rage is just going to end up going down. We've got to have that protection from the bubble to be able to really put the pressure on with TPs like that.
Yeah, and a lot of that is going to come down to that communication between Rage and Otzel. Making sure those bubbles are ready, get that TP in, making sure that you communicate where you're TPing to. One round doesn't make the difference. It doesn't end the world.
Warm up
Exactly.
round. Always. But that Zenyatta is going to be a great target for us to be TPing on. If we can take him out at the beginning of every fight, he's going to eat every single pellet from our Reaper's shotguns. He is a big round hitbox, and you can see we are putting that pressure on. Rage able to TP in, get some damage off, and fade out. But needing to duel that Reaper, Rage just trying to take on the front line. Otzel is able to tray out that Queen, and if we can just stack and stable, we can flip this point.
Yeah, no, you love to see a pick onto the enemy tank early. It makes it really easy for us to just kind of, group up, be steady, push forward, take that fight.
And that was a great pick on the Zenyatta as well. The Zenyatta is probably going to end up a little bit staggered here, and we are going to get some more point percentage from that. We just keep up those cycles on that Zenyatta, force him out, don't let him get those Discord orbs off, don't let him get his damage off. Just make them play a 4v5, and we are totally fine. Also doing a great job at keeping his charge up here. That charge is going to be super important. 100% charge with 2 bubbles in the bank, almost to Grav. That, you love to see it. And that's a big pick on that Cassidy.
Yeah, an early pick on the Cass. It's going to make this fight a lot easier for us. You can see the enemy Reaper TPing up onto Rage, but Rage, no fear in his eyes. Going to take down that enemy Reaper. They're going to be up 5-3. That's another fight win for EMU.
And that's that. You can see that they are locked in now. Rage just needed to get his ego challenged a little bit, just to lock in and make sure that Reaper is not going to outplay him. Burning Wraith early is a mistake, and Rage was able to punish it perfectly. And Otzel's bubbles coming in and cleaning up any leftover damage.
Yeah. You can see Western going on a bit of a flank angle here. Looking to rotate behind, see if they can flip the map. Rage putting some pressure onto that Zen.
I might see a Reaper ult coming out here. The enemy, or rather our Grav comes out as well as our Kitsune Rush, trading out enemy Reaper for our main support. Both of our supports going down. It's just Rage and Otzel now.
Can they make something happen?
And
they're going to take down that Queen. Otzel and Rage are going to be able to clean up that fight.
Absolutely. Just putting the team on their back right here, as we expect them to, with the power coming out of the Zarya and the Reaper combo. Truly, just you can see that it is finally locking in and working, and this is how it's supposed to be. We do have High Noon coming, High Noon up on the board, and we can see
putting
Rose
some pressure,
pulling it out. The Queen is going to need to walk forward just to try to touch.
Looking to go on Rose, unable to get there.
And we might see the Reaper guy ult come out here as Nyx and Otzel both go down, but we do trade out their Cassidy. We are at 99% here. I would say just don't use your ults, don't waste them. Just
see if maybe you can pull something out of them, but at the end of the day, Nyx looking, maybe doing a roll out there, thinks better of it.
Yeah, we saw Nyx getting a little creative in the quick play before the game started. So glad to see that they have locked in appropriately and are not going to roll in alone.
You're looking at this fight here. We've got mirrored Death Blossoms. They've got the High Noon. We do not, but we have a beat in return. That Queen ult is coming up. You're looking, maybe if you can hold on to Susie for that Queen ult, it'll be a lot better. Ooh.
And unfortunately, 2 ults do come out and find Nyx and Otzel, but it looks like we may Ajaxed our beat to that Reaper ult and the Queen ult. We used the beat appropriately, but they were ready to drop both big ults on them. Western only has 1 ult on the board. It's going to be a second before we get that Transcendence or that title coming up. We do have almost Grav on the board, and we have Death Blossom. A big pick coming out of Western onto Rose, and we're just going to need to stack and stable. We've got the time. We just need to chill. We need to win one fight.
That's a big grab,
fucking
big
grab.
Blossom.
And it's going to
They're going to trade Ocelot. They're still even 3-on-3.
And Rage is just going to try and get a big pick off on that Cassidy.
That Wu Young ult finds nothing.
And Rage is just needing to do everything that he can to take out that Zen. Both support ults coming out, just trying to stabilize off of Rage's pressure. Is it going to be enough? Rage is unrelenting, TPing aggressively in, still with no bubbles from Otzel. Otzel back now, just relying on the generosity of his supports to keep him up through everything.
Enemy Reaper is finding Nyx.
And are we going to see a bubble? It is going to be 80% for Western. We do have another fight here if we're able to reset. We're getting a little sloppy. We're trying to overwhelm them in numbers that we don't have. Rose is unfortunately going to be caught out by the Reaper and the Wuyong, and it's going to be 95. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to really do much with this touch.
Looks like Rage is in position to touch.
And it's going to be a 2v1 versus that Reaper.
The Reaper falling low.
The Kitsune Rush coming out. Otzel going down to the enemy Zenyatta. But
the Queen won. Queen falls.
Trading out both tanks in a Kitsune Rush. As long as we can stack and stable here, Rage is able to get more picks. The Reaper ult comes out. You can hear him screaming right now.
Look at Rage looking at the Zen, finds it. Reaper TPs, unable to find anything. EMU is going to take the round.
Rage, our MVP. Don't scare me like that, guys. It's currently 1-1 on Samoa, and we are going to see, I believe, the third point of control that we have seen this this season.
You can see that the pieces are starting to come together with this comp. You could see when they were very disciplined on those cycles with those bubbles, Rage TPing in, going on that Zen. A lot of the times the cast is there with him, but with Rage being able to just apply that pressure onto him, it's forcing them back, allowing their team to take a 4v3 fight.
Absolutely. Not every TP cycle needs to be a kill. It just needs to get resources out, just needs to apply pressure. And that double touch from Nyx and Rage, really, I was not expecting that to work the way that it did. And a big rush came out of Pringle as well. So let's keep up this momentum and swing this into a 3rd-point win as both teams start walking out, see that they're still running that Junker Queen. Pretty much everybody on 3 perks at this point. So some big power spikes across the board here.
See, they're pushing forward, putting some pressure onto Otzel. He gets caught on geometry. He's going to get caught out. Pringle falls as well.
And Rage is just trying to stay alive. Is he able to stabilize back out to the Mega? He is, and Western thinks better of chasing Rage into his spawn, knowing how much damage that he can put out. If they take one misstep here, it's going to be a little bit too much for them to handle as we re-swing with 5 here.
Yeah, no, you're looking... it's a little bit harder to find those TP angles on this map. It's a lot longer of a sight line. It does look like Rage did take the perk. That does shorten the range of your TP, but makes it a lot faster.
Absolutely. It's critical to this team comp to be able to do that because of how quickly you need to be able to respond with those TPs. You can see Otzel at 100% charge here. Nobody really close to ult here. Maybe the enemy Wuyong is going to build it up at 85% right here. Otzel taking a lot of damage with no bubbles. Going to get pulled out of position by that knife, but Rage is able to trade out that enemy Cassidy as well. And we are 1-1, but we are down our tank, and they are down only one measly little Cassidy. I would take that trade if I was Western.
That is the trade. It's in favor for them. We do have the Lucio. We can speed our tank back fast. Maybe get back a bit faster than that cast, but...
We've just got to find some sort of angle to alleviate the pressure here, because what's happening is too much pressure is being put through these chokes that we can't have Otzel save bubbles long enough to be able to swing appropriately. And there's honestly just so much damage coming out that the bubbles are not lasting long enough for Rage to find something. The enemy
they're pushing out with that Wuyang ult. Doesn't find anything. Reaper does back out with Wraith.
And there's going to be no Wraith on the board here. We've got Grav as well as Death Blossom and Rush. Are we able to find something? They may answer our Grav with their Transcendence. We've just got to keep Otzel up. It's going to be a lot of ults coming out.
Transcendence. Able to find the Wuyang. They're down 2, though.
And the Transcendence does come out, stabilizing against that Grav and that Rush. Make sure we touch here. The enemy Reaper
We're
not
unable to touch. We were winning that fight too. That's unfortunate. Western Michigan will take that first map.
but I see the vision. It's a little rough if we're not perfectly in sync with each other. It's a lot of damage coming out of that the Junker Queen, out of that Cassidy, out of that Reaper. I mean, it's just we've got to be able to really lock in on our target prioritization, I think is what's going on here. We're all kind of taking our own fights, not really hard locking on one to just assassinate and blow up with our TP. We're taking a little bit too much damage, staying a little bit too long. We're really seeing kind of the micro mistakes here that we haven't really been able to see previously, where I've talked so much about just the speed that the games that we've been playing have been going at, that really the only thing that you can see is that we've been moving slower than them. But now we can see that this enemy team is kind of moving at more of our pace. We're able to keep up with them, but it does mean that we're able to see more of the more skill expression is happening here. So we can see those good TPs, those good bubble timings from Rage and Otzel, but it also means that if we're missing shots or we're poorly positioning, it's a little bit more apparent because we can see that that's the reason that we lost a fight, or a poor ult usage, or anything like that. It makes it a little bit easier to see those kind of mistakes, and hopefully we're able to recognize those, lock in. We don't want to come into this thinking that it's going to be an easy win or anything like that, and properly responding to what we see. I mean, that Zenyatta, great TP target, but if we can't get to him, that Junker Queen is a really good target as well. Yeah. Against with our Zarya and our Reaper, big damage on her. Yeah,
especially, with those bubbles, like I said earlier, denying that, those axe swings, those knives, those things that give her that lifesteal, lets her kind of sustain herself a bit better, even if she still does need some help from her supports. If you can deny that, she struggles a lot more to just stand there, take the fight head on. She has to play around corners a bit more, or just kind of back up back to her team where we can push forward, kind of absorb that space.
Absolutely. And if you're able to deny those axe swings, you're not only denying that axe swing, the damage that it deals, and the bleed that she gets from it and the healing, but it will increase the cooldown for the subsequent axe swing. Yeah. So she really does need to chill and back up if we're able to deny them. But I mean, a big part of this damage is still that Wuyong damage. Is just, it needs to not be coming out of him. He's really, really difficult to catch. We don't really have. I mean, if he just moves so quickly, Rage isn't going to be able to TP on him and take him out before he just waves and dashes away. So it's got to be that Zenyatta first. If it was me, I would think Zenyatta first, then Queen, then we can start rolling with that.
Yeah.
And it looks like I'll give you guys a single guess as to what map we're going into next. If you need a hint.
Is it Hollywood?
It's, you know what? It's Hollywood, Vinny. It's Hollywood.
It is not Hollywood. I do believe we are going to Kings Row.
It's, tell me about Hollywood, George. And we can see that we have a ban on the Junker Queen, and they have banned Brig. So, again, protecting that Zarya ban, and we may have scouted, seen that they're just a Junker Queen one trick. Definitely a little bit of a weirder pick. For Samoa, you wouldn't typically see a Junker Queen there, so maybe a comfort pick for Western, if we can kind of snipe ban that.
I am more confused about the Brig ban. It's not something that we super commonly play, especially going to Kings Row.
Unless they are planning on doing some sort of dive.
Maybe.
But with a Kiri Lu, there's not really a backline to dive there. It's very, very difficult to dive that backline. And we've got Rose on the Cass. That might end up just being a bad time for Rose if we do keep the Cass, because despite Cass being a good hero for peel, to be able to peel for supports, if he himself gets dived, he's really only got the roll and the grenade to kind of self-peel. he ends up being actually a quite good target if your other options are a frog on the ceiling, a fox that's 8 miles away, a cloud of dust, or the world's strongest woman. I'll go for the cowboy in that instance.
Usually, yeah. But you can see it looks like Western is playing some kind of a dive comp. They're on a Juno.
Ana Juno is an interesting lineup for the monkey here. And we can see that monkey is going to be doing the classic rotation on the high ground here. But into Rage's Reaper, I think that Rage will be able to handle this monkey pretty well. You can see that both Nyx and Rose are stabilizing back here onto Arches as Western goes for a full rotation. If we just flip map here, we should be able to do something with it. But we go for the
Rage
aggressive.
is going for the TP, gets the bubble.
And it's just going to be enough
Winston
to get
falling
that Winston
a little
bubble
low.
out. The Winston and the Genji
that Winston
going down,
very low.
dropping down. That Winston very much killable. We do give up 1 tick on the point. Rage taking out that Winston. The Genji in the backline looking for Rose, but not able to find her. As we swing back onto point, we did give up a tick there, which I don't love, but you know what? I'd rather give up a tick and keep us all alive than have us all go down and lose that entire point.
That I would usually take that trade as well.
We can see that we are going for another rotation from Western, just rotating onto that high ground. It's a classic Winston rotation, something that EMU JV did all the time last year. Stabilizing with that Genji as we really just need to swap as they
Genji
put this pressure
low.
on.
They're able to find both the Winston and the Genji. That's going to lead to a probable fight win here for EMU. It's hard to win a fight when you're down 5-3.
And it's not even going to be a fight win. That's just ending the fight. They just the fight. There is no fight there, honestly. With the Winston and the Genji going down early like that means that we just have to fully reset, leaving the Reaper and the supports kind of idle in the choke here. You can see we're still going for our TPs. High Noon is up on the board, answered by the enemy Nano that comes out on that Winston. Are we able to keep Otzel up through it? Otzel's just got to rotate out through that Winston's bubble, but it's going to be too much damage. The Reaper taking out Nyx and Otzel, but Rage trading the Genji and the Reaper. Come on, Rage, show us something here. The Reaper burning fade, Rage just trying to take cover, able to stabilize. It's really just Rage locking us down here. We do have Pringle on the high ground, keeping Rage healthy. We can give up a little bit more space. We can rush onto point. We've got the stacks. We've got the ultimates to get on here. We can see a big rush coming out. The enemy Reaper guy dropping his special ability, trading out.
Not going to find anything.
The beat comes out. A lot of ults coming out of EMU here. Hopefully we can convert it into securing this point. That enemy Genji Blade does come out and is able to find Rose, but is not quite able to find
looking
Nyx.
for Nyx. He's able to maneuver his way out.
And Rage, or Otzel is going to be here on point just to lock it down with bubbles and energy, but do we have the healing and the support to keep it up? Rage does go for a little bit of an odd Blossom in the back line, probably just to clear out that monkey. Hopefully that's the right decision because it's going to be important to use this High Noon as the only ultimate that we have on the board. If we don't use it appropriately, we may end up losing this point. And it does come out of Rose, sweeping onto that point with the speed boost from Nyx. Is it going to be
able
enough?
To pressure him back.
And it's not going to find any kills, but you know what? It's High Noon. It usually doesn't. The Hinder does come out, gets deflected, but Otzel is able to shoot
That Winston
through.
falling low, uses Primal to keep himself up. He's still falling low. He's half health.
And we are still fighting for this first point here. Able to find our Kiriko and our Cassidy. It's just going to be our Kiri, our tank, and our Rage on. It's going to find Otzel and Nyx. Rage going down as well. But you know what? That is overtime on first point, but just barely. And you know what? We have lost that significantly quicker. I think we can hold this on second point. Second point is a lot rougher on Monkey. You know, first point Kings Row is honestly one of my favorite places to play Monkey.
Yeah, you have a lot of high ground to play with, a lot of angles that you can take, a lot of really nice rotations that you can do. It's a lot tougher here. You know, a lot of your team cannot follow you as easily through a lot of these rotations as on Winston.
Yeah, but if Western does put the kind of pressure it looks like they're posturing to put on the second point, it can be difficult to reclaim that space. You can see we're kind of stuck at the choke here. With the bubble coming out onto Rage, the Reaper guy ult does come out as well as the Transcendence, and it's just going to be pushing
Gonna
Eastern
use
back
grab
here.
to just relieve that pressure.
And that's going to be big, honestly. Unfortunately, shooting that deflect is going to make Nyx go down. But Rose with a big pick on that Zenyatta. The Reaper guy duel does come out again, forcing that fade all the way back to the team. We are even here. We do have 2 ults on the board, only answered by their Wuyong ult. I think we just got to rip that rush early if we are ready for it. The enemy,
you can see that. You can see, Rage is hiding up top, looking with that Death Blossom.
Pringle does find a good pick on that Genji, as well as Rage finding a headshot onto that Wuyong, forcing the enemy team back. That Wraith coming out. Don't put too much pressure. Just let him out. Let him out. And we just set up for our next fight. We've got 3, almost 4 ults on the board. Honestly, with as much energy as Otzel still has, we may even see the Grav come up on this fight. This is probably going to be last fight with 40 seconds on the clock, only answered by their Genji Blade.
Yeah, and with Genji Blade, you can see Nyx very close to building up that beat.
My favorite character is the Reaper guy.
The Reaper guy flank
Special
finds
move.
both of the supports. That's going to make it really tough for Western here.
But it is going to trade out the rest of our team with only Pringle and Rage on the board right now. Now it is just Rage trying to fight a 2v1 versus a Reaper and a Genji, and he's just unfortunately not going to have the numbers to do it. And it looks like with 12 seconds left, 11 seconds left, Western is going to cap second point. These are all really close fights. I was sure that with the double kill on the supports like that, out of Rage, that we would be able to lock it down, but they just were able to go fast enough that they traded us out. The High Noon does come out of Rose and finds that monkey. And that's going to be a fight winner for Eastern. They're just going to Western's just going to have to back up and reset.
And I don't know if you saw it, but the Zenyatta on Western did actually swap characters to try and get back faster. Had to swap back to Zenyatta, so he lost a lot of that ult charge.
That's going to be really good for us, because if we are able to get this Grav off, which is coming up soon, versus no defensive ults, we can make this a huge fight win with just a single ultimate. We do have 3 ults on the board. The Kitsune does come out, forcing the Genji to retreat. The Primal comes out in our backline, but that monkey is going down fast. Are we able to get some sort of a pick with this ultimate trade? We do find the monkey staying a little bit too long, TPing deep into the backline, barely making it out. That was a clutch bubble out of
Playing a little
Rose,
bit risky there.
out of Otzel. We do still have our Grav and our beat. We are seeing 3 ultimates on Western side. This could again be last fight. A big Grav coming out, but it is able to be answered by that Transcendence. The beat coming out, not getting Ajax this time, letting Rose get a nice clean shot on that Reaper as he sits still with his very special move. Forcing the monkey back, 3 seconds on the clock. And another pick on that monkey, and this is going to look like a fight win for EMU.
Rose looking to grab some with that Cassidy right-click perk. Reaper trying to TP in there at the end. Isn't going to be able to get there, and that's a hold from EMU.
You know what you call this? You call this unironically winnable. I've seen it happen before. That's not third point. We can definitely make something happen here, and with our Reaper Zarya comp, I find that it's a lot easier to be on attack here.
Yeah.
Way easier to be offensive than defensive with that team comp, because you don't have to answer them, right? You can go at your own pace, and we will probably want to be moving a lot quicker than they were on offense with our bubbles and our speed and our TPs.
Looking like a bit of a different comp coming out here from Western. They're on Ramatra, Bap, Wuyang, Venture, and Reaper.
Definitely
very brawl heavy.
An interesting team comp coming out of Western here. That is a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage coming out. Like, honestly, I think one of the only ways that you could stick more damage in there is by sticking like a Mauga and a Bastion. I mean, that's a very high damage support lineup. Those that's double flex DPS. But I think we can abuse this Ramatra, the fact that Ramatra is still so weak right now. And he is very susceptible to being shot in the back, which is something that Rage is very capable of providing for that Ramatra. So
keeping in with that bubble.
And it looks like we are going to get the Venture trying to drill Otzel in. Both teams just looking to pressure the back of their tank. And Rage is able to TP in, but not able to get everything out of that Baptiste. Able to get the lamp out is going to make this next cycle very nice and juicy. We've got pretty much full charge here on Otzel. Rage going in for another TP, trying to get that
just keeping pressure on that BAP, trying to just make him uncomfortable, make him not able to just sit there pumping healing into that Ramatra.
And it looks like Rage is unfortunately going to be caught out, staying a little bit too long with no Wraith. And if we are able to just stabilize here, Otzel does have all the charge that he could ever want in the world. All we need to do is shoot that Ramatra in the back, and we should be able to absolutely chunk him. Again, Ramatra is only able to block damage from the front where he's crossing his arms. So if we are able to shoot him in the back, provide some shots from the back. And that's a big
nice
pick from
pick on
Rose.
Venture.
And that's going to alleviate a lot of pressure that Otzel is feeling on the front line for us to be able to get a nice deep TP. And Rage is able to just terrorize this backline with Otzel. And some big picks coming out, and the Ramatra is just going to pop form and go down immediately. Wonderful opening pick from Rose.
Yeah, that opening pick changed this entire fight. That Venture not being there, it doesn't give Otzel free reign to just do whatever he wants, but it makes it a lot easier when he doesn't have to worry about that Venture popping up behind him, pushing him in, and leaving him out in no man's land where he can't really get out without his bubbles. And
just having 4 players versus 5, and Rose finding another pick on that Reaper, not quite capping the first point, a little bit there, but we are able to send that Reaper all the way back to third point. It's going to take him a hot minute to get back. We can develop this space. We are 4v5 right now. Rage knows it and is going in, shooting that Ramatra in the back. Just make him back off that corner. We've almost got Grav coming up. This is looking good. We do see almost every ultimate coming up. Rose doing a very good job of building the ult quick and popping it when we need to. We are really just lagging on the Venture ult. So it's going to be a big fight. 2 support ults coming out the window, followed by the Kiri Rush, as well as the Wu Young title. And the Suffer comes out. Rage is able to find that Baptiste. And the Reaper ult does get dropped, but nobody is going to go down to it. Otzel is able to be found by that Reaper. Rage also going down to the Reaper. And it looks like maybe a little bit of over-ulting from Western.
Yeah, no, they used 4 ults there. The only ult they have left now is that Venture ult that they were lagging behind a little bit on generating. In return, we used Grav, yes, we used Rush, but we've got the beat that we could use in response to that Venture ult. We've got the Blossom that, Rage has been pretty good at finding a couple of picks with.
And it looks like this Ramatra is going to maybe get caught out here. The Wraith does save that Reaper. Rage also trying to just stabilize here.
It looks like we just kind of absorbed that
counting
Venture
down
ult
from across the room as we speed beat in, and that's going to be so much pressure on that Ramatra.
Falling low. The lamp is out.
I'm expecting to see a Reaper guy ult here. Oh,
no, I'm not even sure if they need it.
I don't think they need it, but it's juicy looking. It is juicy looking. 100% charge on Otzel.
Western did split themselves. Their DPS went one way. The supports went the other. Both of their DPS are able to get themselves out, but...
And this is what having a strong ult economy will do for you, is let you make the decision as to whether you want to... And that's a big pick. That the Venture falling for the TP bubble, as we've been doing all game, getting a just direct headshot with those Reaper shotguns blows them up.
You can see this Grav coming back online very quickly. That's the lamp. I wouldn't be shocked to see either the Grav come out or the Reaper ult.
I'm honestly wouldn't be surprised if we saw both. No lamp means that there's not really much that they can do to answer
that
to
Grav.
The window does come out of Western, and that's why we are stabilizing here. looking for the re-swing, looking for a big grab in the
It's a big
backline.
grab,
My
finds
favorite
three,
character is the
finds
Reaper
the
guy.
Reaper. Oh my
He is
goodness.
very powerful. Special move. Honestly, one of the best in the game. And so he comes equipped with these 2 revolvers that only take about 3 or 4 shots to actually execute a kill. So it comes really in handy, especially when you come from the side or above.
It's just beautiful to see, Overwatch does send out those weekly progress updates. I saw Reaper on mine. He's my most played character.
Is truly my favorite character is the Reaper guy. And we are looking at almost 3 minutes on the board just to get around 2 corners here. And it looks like we are just going to continue these Reaper TPs to put the pressure on. Rose finding another pick with that high noon. Absolutely just showing the I can't find an appropriate way to say it. The bravery coming out.
Just showing Western the door on this map.
And it looks like we are able to just put so much pressure, taking out pretty much everyone on the enemy
You can
team.
see they did swap to Ana, just trying to find something that might work. Reaper TP's in with that Blossom, isn't going to find anything with it, and Eastern is going to take King's Row. Just fantastic plays from the team all around. A couple of things that they, will still be looking to clean up from that map, but you get one on the board, the momentum is in our favor.
It really is, and it's something that I can see it. I can finally see it. We are playing our own game. We are in control. We were in control of that entire offense. It's way easier when you are the ones dictating the pace, and you know exactly how far you need to go to be able to play around it. And you can see the communication and the teamwork of they popped window, we're all just going to hard chill. And nobody peeked. Nix. Nobody got their head taken off. Everybody just chilled. Perfect. And then re-swung, and he had a huge play with that Zarya and Reaper.
I'm sure
beautiful.
I'm sure as soon as that window came out and they swung back, they were like, all right, we're going to go in. We're going to use that grab. We're going to use the Reaper ult. Just beautiful plays altogether. We've got a replay of it here. You can see them they're hard chilling. They're back. You can see they engage. Nyx uses that speed. Just lobbing that grab into the back line, and that Reaper ult, just beautiful. They did try to use the Wu Yang ult to counter it, but with those bubbles, it doesn't affect the Reaper. Lets him get those kills that he needs.
And it does take time for that Wu Yang ult to go off, so it does provide that extra health that maybe you would be able to sustain through. But it's only for one character, and it's not nearly as much as a Beat. Beat gives you well over 1,000 health. It's like 1,500 or something like that. I think Wu Yang only gives you like 300 extra, something like that.
It's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah,
but
I mean, a 450 health Tracer coming at you, blinking around,
scary.
That's scary. But if you're sitting there inside a Reaper ult with the rest of your enemy team shooting at you, it's getting burned through immediately. Much more of an offensive ult that extra health is really just there to help you get into position rather than a defensive one. And so playing around the defensive cooldowns that we saw Eastern playing around, like waiting until that lamp is out. Specifically against Reaper ult, the lamp doesn't do much because you do also damage the lamp with Reaper ult. But still, playing around that cooldown, it could still let the Baptiste could be on the knife's edge, let the health bar of everybody on his team go down before he throws out the lamp. Then the lamp has got to deplete, and then he's got the shift, and like you can balance it. So baiting out those cooldowns before we make a big commitment like that, wonderful. And and not just Rose's high noon, but I'm sure it's hard to tell on stream right now, but I guarantee you that every single one of those that we found success with was a speed high noon.
It seems like it, being able to move that high noon around quickly. High noon is one of those ults that by itself, it's not really that great. It's, a very notable audio cue. Cassidy glows when he's using it. It's very easy to see. Get yourself behind a wall, wait it out. But with that speed, it allows him to maneuver a lot quicker than normal, kind of catch some people off guard, get those picks, open the fights up.
Absolutely. And just using it either as a zoning ult, just to reset the fight, everybody get out of my space, let's take a breath and re-swing, or to actually get around a corner, catch somebody out. that was for this being Rose's first time playing, well, first time this season at least, playing hit scan for the team. Honestly, doing tremendous. I'm very proud that she was able to just pick it right back up.
Yeah.
And some of the biggest high noons that I've seen in competitive games just overall, because it is, like you said, one of those ults that's so easy to kind of deal with. In a lot of super high games or just on the competitive ladder, it's not terribly uncommon to see very high skill Cassidy's pop high noon just for reload.
Yeah, because it does refill your bullets.
Which is ridiculous that an ultimate can be something that is so weak that you'd rather just be like, I want to skip a reload that takes like half a second to do. But at the pace that those games play, sometimes it's worthwhile. So honestly, big kudos to both Rose and Nyx for coordinating those. And I'm seeing a lot of rushes come out too. Some very impactful rushes coming out of Pringle. Everybody just very much locking in, taking the game seriously, working well together. I mean, I heard the 3-2-1 from across the room. Like I said,
it was not a quiet call, and sometimes that's what you need. You keep the energy up. You know, you say like, hey, we're going in. We are winning this fight. We are speeding in. They're not going to know what to do.
Absolutely. It just, the energy that you get from a big, commanding 3, 2, 1, we're in. You sometimes just need that, especially if the energy is already up. Everybody can get it together, go in. It's a very, if you haven't been in that situation where you have a fight plan and you know exactly what you're going to do, somebody counts you in, and you just go in with your team. It's a very like euphoric feeling to have a good.
I was going to say something, but
I've been stopped in my tracks because we just banned Reaper. This makes a little bit more sense. They have banned Zarya.
Yes.
And because we won that map, they got first ban. They banned our Zarya.
They also had the map pick. Not taking us to Escort, we are actually going to Flashpoint. We are going to Atlas.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of Atlas. I don't think many people are. What are the odds that we're going to see a Junkrat?
Greater than 0, and I don't like it.
Exactly. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know what we're going to be running here because I have not seen them play a lot of Atlas, and it's a very small, very condensed map. Would typically be actually quite strong for a Reaper Zarya, but with both of our characters banned, not really sure what we're going to see here. It is
I was
going to
say, I did hear some rumblings from the team that they had been working on their dive a little bit this week, and it's looking like that's what we're going to see. You've got Otzel over on that Winston, Pringle still on that Kiri. You're looking at that the Symmetra in the Tracer, Nyx still on that Lucio. You know, we're still looking go a little bit faster than they are. Our comps are very similar here.
I hope this Brig likes Halloween because they are about to get jump scared over and over and over again because there's nobody on that enemy team that we are diving except for that Brig. Very interesting that both teams are opting for pretty much a dive mirror here because this is not something that I would traditionally say is a very strong dive map. But you know what? We can take it. Pringle is going to go down early here, followed by Otzel. Just a little bit too much poke in the neutral here out of the enemy DPS. And we are just going to need to reset here as Western takes first point control. This is something that's completely new to me, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see where we're setting up and staging and diving from. And, you know, we've got Rose on the Tracer now, who I know is somebody that she does not traditionally play. Rage's Genji is also not quite as strong as his Reaper. Pringle is going to go down to the enemy Genji, and we are just going to need to reset here. Hopefully, we are able to keep our momentum from that last map. But right now, we are just getting a little bit picked in the neutral before we can truly set up.
You know, you can see Rose falling there towards the end of that fight. we need to coordinate, pick a target. We need to go on them.
Yeah, we've got to come in from a different angle. You can see Nyx and Rage going for a flank here, just +1ing with Rage. The dive does come out, but it's not able to find any kills. We do find some cooldowns. Pringle is going to go down to that enemy brig, but is it going to be enough for us to stabilize?
With Rose falling there, I'm not sure it is. Rage goes down. I wouldn't be shocked to see Otzel he go down here. Able to jump out, grab that Mega, but that's going to be first point going the way of Western.
And but that is only first point, and honestly, I think that's one of the most claustrophobic points on the
on the map.
Opting for a full swap, or rather a partial swap to the Ramatra and the Torbjorn. I'm not hating it. Like the Torbjorn, a little bit of a funny haha character, but into a monkey, a Tracer, and a Genji, actually pretty strong.
I do like it. Torbjorn very good at kind of policing those off angles, keeping them in control. He's also very sustainable with that E. He can tank a Winston dive on his own.
Absolutely. You can see Otzel is able to get a pick on that brig, pummeling through the barriers that are causing us issues.
We're going to use our rush here.
We can see a swap from the enemy brig onto
back onto that Zen.
Onto the Zenyatta. Point does flip in Western's favor, but Otzel is able to show that he does have the prowess on the Ramatra. Even though Ramatra is quite weak right now, it's not his damage that's weak, it's his survivability. And versus a dive comp like this, he's not really blocking a whole lot of damage, he's pummeling. So
yeah.
We're not relying on the survivability that Ramatra is kind of known for. We're going for pummeling through and catching the very fast flankers that they have with that E. So honestly, I've kind of been talking crap about Ramatra this whole season. I don't hate this, but that is an unfortunate pick from onto Nyx. 2 ultimates do come out from Western. Probably not necessary, which is good for us. We do have point control and is about to flip over to Western. But hey, we've got the ultimates on the board while they are popping them in one fight, so I'll take it.
Ooh, Rose falling very late there. It's going to stagger that push from us a little bit. You can see that Western did swap off of that Tracer, going over towards that Cassidy. Just looking to be a little bit more stable.
Yeah, both teams swapping off of Tracer onto the Cassidy. I don't mind it. Everybody's just kind of swapping whatever they feel like playing right now. Makes for an interesting way of tracking the ults here. But Otzel is going to go in.
We're going to engage with that beat.
With that big beat, trying to find this Cassidy. We are able to pick him out. Rayos does get traded out, but we trade out the monkey as well. Is it going to be enough to find that Genji? As long as we flip that point 99% from Western, and we are going to take point control.
Yeah, no, the Genji able to somehow kind of absorb a lot of that pressure, get himself out. It's going to let Western kind of regroup, get back into this fight a little bit quicker. Looking over there, you can see that Transcendence is up. That's the only thing that Western is working with here. We've got our Suffer. We've got our Torvald.
We have a lot of area denial here, which means that if they want to push onto this point, they're probably going to have to pop that Transcendence. That monkey
Winston
does explode
quickly
to that Torbjorn damage and the pummel from Otzel. And with no tank to speak of on the enemy team, is it going to be enough? The Transcendence does come out.
Otzel does rip the Suffer. It's going to find 2, and that might just be enough for EMU to claim the second point.
And it looks like it's going to be that. Zenyatta does go down, as well as the Genji. I think we just saw Otzel pick 4 with that.
I believe so. It looks like Western is swapping back over to that Queen.
Which, 5K for Otzel. Credit where it's due. Poor Ramatra. I've been talking crap about him all season, but you know what? If you're just going for the all offensive play style where you don't really need to be crossing your arms, and you've got all of the pressure from the rest of your team really just sending you in, it's wonderful. Playing him into a Zenyatta and into a Queen, very good matchups. The E versus the Genji is still quite strong. I expected to not like this pick, but I'm actually kind of loving it.
I do only fear, now that they are around that Queen, that his lack of survivability may kind of be his Achilles heel. It may make it a little bit harder to play that Ramatra.
Yeah, the Discord Orb from a big grenade coming out to slow down that Blade, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. We do go down to the Blade. Pringle, Rage, and Otzel all getting picked, and point control going over to Western. But we are coming up with our ultimates here. Ult economy looking pretty even, maybe a little bit in the favor of Eastern. Oh, I did not see that we have our famous High Noon on the board, only answered by the enemy High Noon and the Rush. We've got an extra little Torb ult in there. We can Torb ult on top of their Kiri ult. We can completely deny it and use that space. Pulling the Torb ult out first, as well as the High Noon on the enemy team. Otzel looking to just heal up all of the ults coming out of Western. We do opt for the beat in, trying to destabilize this Queen. The High Noon does come out. Otzel picking the enemy Zenyatta, but trading out Nyx in the meantime. Rage going down, Rose, Pringle as well. Unfortunately going down to that Queen's pressure. And it looks like Otzel is going to get a little bit staggered here, and that's going to probably be point for Western.
Yeah, no, we invested a lot into that fight. We used that beat. We used both of our DPS ults. It does look like that we swapped off of
our Genji, or off of our Torb onto the Mei. I don't hate it.
No.
Honestly, I quite like it versus the Genji and the Queen. A Queen, just the slow coming out of the primary fire, as well as the wall to deny angles, I think can be quite strong. We're looking at a very brawl-heavy team comp coming out of Eastern as this game evolves.
Hopefully we can see some big walls come out of Rage, kind of deny that Queen the ability to back up, and they can just int onto her and hopefully find a pick early to open up this fight.
I do see the enemy Queen ult on the board right here, and no beat to answer it, so we've just got to try to play safe and live through it. Are we able to punish the Queen for the poor positioning after the ult? We are able to kill, but Rose and Pringle are going to pay the price for it. We do see the point go over to Western, and it looks like Eastern's going to have to just chill and reset, as we don't have our flex support to be able to sustain walking across that big empty space here.
Yeah, no, you're looking over. You see we do have that rush coming up. We've got that suffer again. I wouldn't be shocked to see Otzel use it kind of as a second use of his shift. Just use it for a lot of sustain. That Blade coming out, it's gonna find a couple. It's gonna. Ooh, I am not sure about this suffer from Rage.
We've just got to reset and die here, and kind of just throwing that ult away. Unfortunately, trying to get that Blade pressure off, but it's too late. It already found its value. We've only got one ult on the board here. We're going to have to make it big.
I wouldn't be shocked if we do see the Blizzard come up during this fight. Rage is just 25% away from it.
Definitely going to be last fight for this point. EMU's got to do something here. If they don't win this fight, this is going to be map 3 for the game and map 2 for Western. The rush does come out, but Pringle is going to get picked immediately. Nyx also going down to the Genji dash. Otzel trying to pummel through that High Noon, but it looks like we're not going to be able to touch in time to sustain. And that is going to be map 3 for Western. Going into map 4 to see if this is a one-map wonder for Eastern, or if we are able to do a little bit of not quite reverse sweeping. But I don't mind this. We banned. Oh, you know what? I just realized we banned Reaper here, which means that both Reaper and Zarya cannot be banned this next map.
Is that how it works?
You cannot ban the same character twice in a row.
Okay.
So by you know what?
So by us banning Reaper, that
know when to
allows
hold them, know when to fold them. If they're going to take us to a map that we don't scrim on characters that we have not been practicing, I'm not going to put anything into it.
Yeah, if we had won that map, it's a nice bonus. But
exactly,
by using our bans the way that we did, it allows us to know that, hey, we're going to go into this next map. We're going to be on the characters we're comfortable on, allowing us to hopefully grab that second map and maybe lead us into getting that win in a 5-map series.
It's you can see parallels with both how we just played those bans and played kind of the meta game of how the tournament works, and just how the game functions itself. You don't if you can win a fight with just one ultimate, you're not going to invest all the other 4 ultimates in there. You've already won it. So consequently, if you have already lost a fight, there's no point in investing 3 more ultimates just to lose it again.
Yeah.
If your partner leads the right bower, there's no point in playing the left one.
Oh, you're going with the
yeah, I know, right?
So euchre joke.
It's big. Managing your resources appropriately, and you know what? There's resources in the game, and then there's resources outside of the game. It's resources all the way down, man. And banning is a resource because now it's going to affect the next game, and we're going to be able to play both Reaper and Zarya, which we can have shown that we are very strong on, and we can use those 2 characters to really just knock over the enemy team.
Yeah.
And that was our flashpoint, and so I'm probably expecting Escort at this point. It's going to be our map pick.
I wouldn't be shocked to see us go back to Rialto.
I'm expecting Rialto. I think it's been Rialto pretty much every time. Did I just hear Esperanza?
We're
Esperanza.
mixing it up a little bit.
Interesting. This was the first Flashpoint map that we saw, and this is going to be the first push map that we are seeing as well. I'm a little surprised that it's Esperanza and not New Queens. I feel like I typically see them scrimming New Queens. So I don't know what we're going for, but they're
maybe. I'm trying to think. Like I don't think that the Reaper Zar comp works significantly better on one map over the other. Like,
no, I feel like all of the push maps are pretty. They
designed similar-ish enough that
they all play pretty similarly.
Yeah.
With Coliseo probably being the most
different,
weird, I'd say.
Yeah.
We are going to ban the Genji character, which I can get behind. Get behind. He's I believe pretty strong right now.
Yeah.
And obviously Western is playing him quite well and causing some issues for our backline.
Yeah. I know Genji, especially with Wu Yang, very good target for his ult.
Yep.
Lets him sustain through a lot. He's very good at getting into the center of the enemy team, knocking them all down, and being able to finish those kills quickly before they're able to get back up.
Yep. I mean, with the dash, you can just dash on any target, time it with the explosion. Not really a way of dodging it unless you've got some sort of bubble, shield, something like that. Just dash onto like an Ana, blow them up, knock them down, get some headshots, and dash right out.
Yeah.
It's the same reason you give it to your Tracer, same reason you give it to your Winston. Any of those high mobility targets that can just deliver that payload right where it needs to be. A lot harder to do if you give it to like a Reinhardt or something.
Yeah. It does look like they will in turn ban our Lucio.
Which, fair.
Yeah, that is definitely a comfort pick for Nyx on main support.
But I do know that Nyx also quite enjoys the Brigitte character.
Yeah, they could go to that Brig. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe they went over towards Wu Yang.
Wu Yang is definitely a very strong character right now. I don't know how comfortable Nyx is specifically, which is I think why we haven't seen a lot of Wu Yang in the series so far. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Wu Yang. I wouldn't be surprised to see Brig. I kind of don't think that they're going to do any sort of double flex. I don't think that's going to be in the cards. But Brig, Wu Yang, probably no Zen. I can't imagine a Zen.
Maybe they'll bring out Mercy.
Oh yeah, Nyx is gonna put on the maid outfit live on stream right here for us. Truly, it's what we've all been waiting to see. That's why we've been watching the stream the whole time, just to see Nyx put on the maid outfit. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. There's definitely some cheeky strats that you can pull out on Esperanza. I know something that we've pulled out before is Reinhardt just shielding in the little cubbies along the way that you can find on a lot of push maps, and just stabilizing in there, letting the bot walk in front of you, and then sim TPing across. I don't think I've seen a scrim anything like that, but it's definitely a possibility. We could be talking about it right now. We could just see more of our Reaper Zar, probably just going to be the Reaper Zar, and just more of the same, good, strong, just the meat and potatoes of what we have practiced, what we're good at. Rage really putting in a lot of work on that Reaper.
Yeah, and you can see it paying off.
Absolutely. It's something that, my favorite character is the Reaper guy.
Yeah.
It's like it's like half bit and half like
I genuinely like the Reaper guy.
My favorite character overall
Is Winston.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't make me choose between Ramatra and Winston.
Really, I'm shocked you aren't saying Reinhardt. I feel like he was like, I can't say, I don't know if it was your first love in Overwatch, but he was your tank character.
You know what? The first time that I ever played Overwatch was on. It's 2017. I am a nerd, so I have.
That didn't change.
I know. So I have, instead of my high school has 7 class periods. I only have 6 classes. So in my free period, I go to the IT department of the high school, and I do IT for the high school. This surprises no one, but
not even a little.
No, but the guy that the system admin for the district was probably in his like mid to late 20s. He wasn't much older than us. But at one point, he's like, I don't really have anything to do for you, but have you seen this new game, Overwatch? And I played Reaper Defense Route 66.
Wow.
And I distinctly remember standing still in Wraith on top of the payload, just waiting for Wraith to end and then coming out of it and then going off and shooting my 2 revolvers. So my first love was Reaper. My favorite character is the Reaper guy. That strategy then evolved into Diva, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I remember being hard-pocketed by a Mercy as I stood AFK on top of a payload, being like, they can't beat it. What do you do against a pocketed Diva that's standing still on top of payload? 2017 was...
they have done the Overwatch Classic events where they bring back old states of the game to let players either relive it or try it out for the first time. And I'm not gonna lie, some of the older builds don't feel all that great to play in modern days.
They're bad.
Like as a Lucio player myself, the initial build, like the 2016 build that they released, Lucio feels like you are wearing shoes made of concrete.
I've played that Lucio. It feels awful. It feels really bad.
Compared to nowadays where, you'll see a Lucio flying across the map at Mach 5,
it's
after
so
spending 100 hours on Lucio Surf, it's a very different game.
Absolutely.
For a lot of the times better, some things worse, debate between 5v5, 6v6, that is a whole different can of worms.
I definitely prefer the state of the game as it is now. And then that was all the way back before roll queue, when being the generous, humble person that I am, would always just fill, which means that I always ended up on main tank.
Yeah.
And, now I have Stockholm Syndrome for the tank role, which is why I have 500 hours on Reinhardt, most of that being time that I was supposed to be in class. It is what it is.
If I remember correctly, I first played Overwatch either late 2016, early 2017. I had a friend come over to my house, and we borrowed another friend's account, and he was like, oh, you got to try this game. And I've tried it, and I played Zarya, and I did not understand how the character worked. So I was just holding left click, no energy, and I was like, this character kind of sucks.
I remember when everybody was bad at the game. It was very funny and silly, because you could get away with things that you just can't get away with now.
No, because I can remember my first DPS main was Pharah, and do you want to guess why?
Why?
It's because I opened a loot box and got a legendary skin, and I was like, it's a sign.
That's my
the character.
I'm still very proud of the box of Lucio O's that I bought. It came with 3 free loot boxes if you register. You had to make a Kellogg account and get a code. It was so stupid, but I did that, and I did it because I loved Overwatch. And I didn't even eat the cereal. I just had it. I just had a box of Lucio O's.
Do you still have it, or
no? It was peak like me coming out of depression that I was like, I'm cleaning out everything. Do I need this box of expired cereal? No. I wish I'd kept it. But I distinctly remember telling my dad, yeah, no, I don't need that anymore. I wish I kept it.
Heartbreaking.
But those 3 loot boxes broke. And I forgot about this. I got, and not just in Overwatch 1, every time you leveled up, you got a loot box.
Yeah.
And so it was a loot box boost. So for the next 3 level ups, you would get a loot box and then a bonus one. And so for the next year and a half of me pouring thousands of hours into Overwatch, every time I leveled up, I got 2 loot boxes, which is why I have every Overwatch 1 cosmetic.
I forget, how high was your account level on Overwatch 1? Like, what border did you get to? Because I know there are some people that like maxed out their borders.
I did not max out the border. I've actually, I think at this point, played more Overwatch 2 than I ever did Overwatch 1. But I want to say it was like the like diamond border. So
Okay.
I think I went up through gold and like the plat and then whatnot. But anyway, the video game that we're here to play. Yeah, we're here to watch Overwatch. Time to roll out. Seeing more of that Winston comp coming out of Western. And as predicted, we are seeing our Reaper Zarya comp. And Vinny is, of course, right. Seeing that Wu Young out of Nyx. You know what? I'm a fan. We'll see how it works out. Some definitely big flanker energy coming out of Western. It's going to be difficult to keep our supports up if that Tracer, Winston, and Sombra all decide to go on the same target. But it looks like we are able to sustain through it. Just a little bit of peel coming from Rage. Nyx, unfortunately, finding a 5-ball to the head from the enemy Zenyatta. As we have to fully back up, that Tracer is just proving difficult to catch.
Yeah, just kind of harassing our backline there. Was able to, putting that pressure on Nyx, allowed that Zen to get that 5-ball onto him.
It looks like we are re-swinging. That Discord Orb is painful, but we are able to clear it with bubbles. Rage not quite able to get the kill on the Zenyatta, just barely letting him out with 1 sliver of health as Otzel is starting to walk forward with about half charge here, trying to convert this into a kill.
Able to find that Sombra.
The Sombra TPing directly into Otzel's line of sight, making
you can see him TPing in.
A nice, easy kill.
Looking for something. Gets a bubble from Otzel.
Getting the bubble out of the monkey as well, making them back up. And you know what? We gave a little bit of space with an early pick, but you know what? We're re-swinging. Rage taking control of the tempo of this game. The only thing that can really stall our that can control
a big pick out of Rage.
Just some good shots coming out of Rage onto that Sombra.
A good bubble also did let him get out there. He was without Wraith form.
The only thing that we really need to play around here that can control our tempo is the bubble and TPs. As soon as those are up, and we see that we do swing back with our rush, backing up and giving space appropriately. And are we able to find another confirmed kill to find no supports on the enemy team?
We found both their supports. Rose did unfortunately fall during that fight, but trading your cast to get the entirety of the enemy team,
I'll take that any day.
That's a trade you're going to take.
Yeah, even if you're the cast player, you don't want to die, but you got to look at the board and say,
you die for a cause.
Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get for hard focusing me. The rest of my team's going to punish you. And we do have ultimates coming up on the board. We've already seen Rush come out of both teams. And now we are seeing the Grav, the Reaper ult, the Tide, and the High Noon ticking up on the board. And it looks like we are going to get forward spawn here. The bubble's coming out. Rage looking for more pressure.
I really wouldn't be shocked. We do have that Wu Yang ult up.
And we do see the Grav come out, and it's going to be enough to find 3 people on the enemy team, but Rose is unfortunately going to get traded out again. Like I said, in these super dive-heavy comps, it's
you're going to unfortunately be that target.
It's hard to live if you've just got the self-peel of rolling. The bubble's already kind of being claimed by Rage to go on the offensive and trade the backlines. We see a swap coming out of Western onto Queen now.
You can see we do have this Wu Yang ult up. I wouldn't be shocked if we see it come out onto Rage. Rage TP's into the back line looking to get those picks.
We do already have the TP and everything timing down. Maybe the High Noon able to find a pick. Just having the entire battlefield go quiet as that High Noon is out. Not able to find any picks, but getting a ton of space for it. Rose does still go down for it, followed by the rest of the team. Nyx going for a little bit of a cheeky Wuyang ult. Maybe not the greatest use of that ultimate here, popping it after
they did use
everybody's
the
dead.
EMP during that fight.
You know what? I'm happy with that. If they used, if they mirrored an ultimate for our 2, at least we got something out of them. Unfortunate that we did lose that fight. We've just got to keep our ultimate economy strong here. Just use our ults to prevent ourselves from losing the fights that we need to not lose. We don't really care if we win any fights. We just need to not lose because we are winning on the good old-fashioned push game mode right now. The TP coming out onto that Zen, forcing out the Transcendence. Honestly, I take that over even getting a kill on that Zenyatta. That is better for us.
Yeah, no, because that means it's not there for that Reaper ult. It's not there for the rush. It alleviates a lot of that pressure, kind of lets us use that ult when we want. Unfortunately, Rage does fall there.
And it looks like Western is able to confirm the forward spawn as well. Otzel trying to survive on that payload, but is it going to be enough? We do still have the Grav here. Unfortunately, Nyx is going to get found as well. The Grav looking to stop that Kitsune rush, but unfortunately, if we continue to peek it, they're still going to get the value. They're still sitting in that rush. We have not lost the lead yet, but it looks like it's going to be rough for EMU coming back here.
Yeah, no, I feel like you kind of got to try and stop that lead swap from happening. It gets a lot harder once the payloads get further. You got to win a couple of fights in a row to take that lead back. Yep. Looks like they are going to be able to stop it before they take lead. We are going to use our rush here. That Queen falling real low.
Rage was able to touch with that TP, and we are able to sustain the lead. But the Reaper guy ult does come out and finds Pringle, but Nyx, Rose, and Otzel are able to trade out, killing that Sombra, Reaper, and Zenyatta, just slowly stabilizing. And are we going to let the Queen get out? I'm fine with that. I'd much rather us keep our pressure. Rage is in position to continue putting pressure on, but
he knows he does not have that line of sight from Otzel. If he TPs in, there's a good chance that, you know, a headshot from Kiriko, an axe swing from that Queen, it could have had him down very quickly.
Absolutely. So very good to see the discipline and everything. Sustaining through the hack on that Sombra. We just need to run out the clock here. We've got 3.5 minutes on the board. We do see the Reaper ult, the High Noon, and the Tide coming up. We've got to make something happen here before the enemy team does.
No, I'm going to stand by what I said. It does look like Nyx is going to use the ult on themselves again, but I really would have liked to see it come out onto the Reaper.
Yep, the speed boost and the health could really sustain Rage to be able to confirm the kills that we saw lining up for him. Everybody on the enemy team just barely making it out alive, not able to confirm any kills here, as that Kiri is just barely able to TP out, and it looks like this might end up being lead for Western if we're not able to touch. It looks like we do not go for the touch here, opting instead to just TP in a little bit late. We still don't have our bubbles, and Rage is going to get punished for it, not quite able to keep us in the lead, and a little too early to get bubbled out. We do have our Grav and our High Noon coming up on the board, as well as our Rush pretty soon. But all of this time and space is going in Western's bank right now. And the only ultimate that they do not have almost on the board is their Queen ult. We do get the Transcendence out again, but Rage is going to get punished for it. The Grav does come out, and it's going to find a lot of them. That's a big one, timing it well with that Transcendence, removing a lot of its value. A lot of ultimates coming out that don't need to be coming out.
You know, you see Western, they used 3 ults that fight. Eastern, you know, we use that rush. We use that Grav again, but, you know, we still have that High Noon sitting in our bank. You know, Western, they've got that rush. It's, you do kind of favor that ult a lot. You know, that's one of the better ults in the game. That Queen ult, it's not going to take super long for them to get that, but, you know, I can see a vision where, you know, we can kind of absorb those ults and swing back, take a better fight for us.
Unfortunately, Rose is going to get picked early from the Reaper headshot, but we are able to trade out that Reaper, and we are 4v5 now. We don't have our ultimate because Rose is not there, but we do see the enemy rush come out. Rage playing it dangerous, playing in that rush. Nyx does go down for it. Pringle getting picked as well. Otzel trying to find any sort of value before he inevitably goes down. And we are unfortunately not able to convert into a kill. This is just going to turn into a big stagger for Otzel. And now it looks like we are just barely going to be able to touch with half of our team for this final fight. We do have 40 seconds on the board. It's a long way uphill for EMU at this point.
You know, I mean, you do like seeing that alt economy coming back online for Eastern. Western, they've got that Trank, they've got the Queen alt.
The Reapers are trading blows, and the purple does come out. Rage looking for TP just to cleanse himself, and it does work. Dropping the Reaper guy ult, we are able to stabilize and win this fight, but we do commit 4 ultimates for it.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, they did commit 2 alts of their own. You know, they used that Queen ult, they used the Transcendence, but they're coming up on that Blossom soon.
And we have nothing for it unless we get a big Suzu and some very well-timed bubbles. This is looking like a very rough uphill for EMU. It's definitely still winnable, but they've really got to play this smart to be able to convert all of that space in these final moments.
You know, they're going to need to play pretty near perfect Overwatch here.
We do see the Wraith coming out early. The bubble does come out. Otzel is full charge. We cannot step off of this point. You can see Nyx trying to protect themselves from this Sombra. Trading out, Pringle does go down, but we trade out the Sombra as well. Otzel unfortunately going down, followed by Nyx, and it looks like Rage is just trying to do what he can to live. Unfortunately not able to keep himself up, and that is going to be map 3 for Western Michigan. And it looks like that is going to be our final map, unfortunately. We do see EMU putting up a fight, getting that map win on the board, but unfortunately not able to win our matchup with Western here. It's rough. It's rough. It's just some maybe playing with a little bit of ego. I saw some fundamentals of really the timings with the bubbles faltering as it got more tense. Just the really fundamental stuff that we've been practicing. Once it starts getting chaotic and once the pressure's really on, we've really got to stick to those guns and be able to keep that discipline, because if we don't, all of our practice kind of goes out the window. The not being able to play all of our most practiced characters really means that we're a little bit down. So having a map that we have to just kind of give up because we get banned on the Reaper Zarya, and then another map where we don't have the speed boost from the Lucio, we don't have the defensive ult from the Lucio, really makes it difficult to sustain through like a Queen ult. If we use Suzu and we can't Suzu 5 people that the Queen hit, very difficult for us to answer that. But EMU should be very proud of themselves for showing up and being able to get a map off on Western. Definitely some very good Overwatch there. But it is a rough loss.
Yeah, you know, it's one you really would have liked to see, you know, get a W on the board, but I mean, you know, it's better than they've done in other matches. They got a map on the board. You know, maybe they can swing this momentum next week, maybe take another map, maybe somehow take the whole series. Yeah, we'll see if we're able to convert it into any more success. I believe this was our second to last game, so next week is going to be our final game. I know that everybody on the team is definitely putting everything they have into it, putting everything they can into the workshop, trying to just absolutely min-max everything they can with Suji. Yeah. And I think we're going to see them come back swinging. Yeah. But thanks for tuning in to EMU Overwatch and sticking through this whole season with us. Hopefully we can see you next time we stream. In the meantime,
tune into some Rocket League. I believe we've got that coming up for the rest of the month.
Who doesn't love some good Rocket League?
Overwatch will return eventually. I don't know if we're streaming next semester or not. Jaden, are we streaming next semester? Not Overwatch. Okay. Well, I'm hearing probably. You might have Winston come back next semester. Winston. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Bye.